Hi, are you a business owner that knows this COVID-19 is going to affect the finances of your business? I'm here with Roger, and we're going to teach you one key way that can really help your business over the next couple months. Time is of the essence with this. So stay tuned and let's get after it. I'm Eric. I own Viking Automotive. We're a local mechanic shop here in Midvale, Utah. And I'm here with Roger, one of my good friends and business mentors. He owns Universal Business Builder, and he helps companies stay solvent through times like this and plan for these so that you aren't down in the dumps when this is going on. Roger, why don't you explain a little bit of what we're going to talk about today?
So first of all, as a business owner, I think one of the things you have to recognize is business owners everywhere are dealing with repercussions related to not only the COVID-19 or the coronavirus, but they're also dealing with issues that are economically based, meaning they're shutting down cities, they're asking people not to go to restaurants and bars and gyms. And so a lot of business owners are being affected by this. And your business, my business, are all being impacted. So because of that, there are a number of reliefs that are coming. The government is trying to assist us in a variety of ways, and one of the things that you may be familiar with is the Small Business Association, the SBA. What they're doing is they're actually offering some loans that the government is providing to us as business owners to help us stay in business. Now, you've gone through this process.
I have, yeah.
What I want you to do is share a little bit of what the experience was like going through the application process.
So at first, it was out for a couple of days and Utah wasn't even on the list for help. So I was watching that. Utah is on the list now, so you can go to the website and you can start to apply for it. And it's specific to business and this COVID-19 disaster that they've done.
So now what happens is each state has to apply for the federal aid, and then once that happens, the state is then eligible to offer these through the SBA. Now, one thing that you have to understand as a business owner is you will need to apply, and it's not just merely raising your hand and saying, hey, I'd like some money, send it my way. It is a loan, and as a loan, it's something you have to apply for. So you started the application process. Was it just 3 questions, one and done?
No, it took me several hours actually. Again, because I didn't know what to expect. So I'm hoping that we can give some pointers here that you can get this through quickly. And in talking with my personal banker, my business banker, he's like, you want to do this right now because you just get put into a queue. So the sooner you do this, the better you'll be.
Now, as a business owner, let me give you some advice, things that you need to be aware of so that you can understand, first of all, how to apply for this and whether or not you should. Let me begin with the most important, which is before the crisis struck, let's look back at 2019. Were you running a business that was profitable? Did you have good cash flow? Is it worthwhile to sustain your business? And what I mean by that is if you're in a situation where your business was already struggling before this situation, you may need to second guess or reevaluate whether or not it's smart or prudent for you to take on this additional debt or the loan that they're going to be extending to you. So that's the first question you need to decide as a business owner is, are you someone who wants to apply for it? Now, as a business, you're eligible. So all of a sudden, now that you're eligible, you're going to need to now submit as an applicant for these funds. And as Eric mentioned, you're going to get into a queue. And there's a few things that you want to be aware of this. So first of all, this is exactly what the SBA states. It's these things over my shoulder. The first thing you need to understand is it's up to $2 million in revenue or of a loan. So it's a $2 million loan that you're eligible for. You may not need that. You may only need, let's say, $50,000, $100,000, let's say $200,000. I don't know, but the point is you don't need all $2 million. You need to be able to justify the needs that you have in your business. The second thing is that is a loan. Some people are presuming that this is a handout, that they're just going to grant you some money and away you go back into the business. This isn't. It is a loan, but it is also something that's a long-term loan. So it's not as if you need to be stressed that you have to pay it back immediately. Yeah. They're saying that the terms may be as long as 30 years. And so this is actually something that you could really leverage to kickstart your business again. The other thing you want to look at is the interest rate. It is a 3.75 interest rate. Very low, very reasonable, but you may also have other means that you can use, such as a line of credit and so forth that are already available. So you've just got to assess how this is. So here's what I want to emphasize. This over here, the how process. This is critically important because you need to assess with your accounting professional whether or not this is something you ought to be doing. It's as if they're your first responder. They're essentially your business doctor, helping you assess the situation in your specific company and whether or not this is the right thing for you to do. If it is, they're going to give that consultation and give you an assessment of whether or not you're right for this particular loan. Is it smart to keep your business alive? Are you going to be able to come out on the other side of this okay? If so, let's get you the money. You need to be able to do some cash management. Really, what are your financial needs? Looking at your business, how much cash do you need month to month to run your business? That cash flow is important, and you're going to be able to forecast that out and justify the amount you're going to be asking in the loan. Do you need $50,000, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million for the next, say, 6 months or 12 months to get your business up and running again? Once you know those numbers, then we can go and ask for the monies we need, but you're going to need a finalized tax return to basically file as a part of your application process. You're going to need an updated P&L. That profit and loss statement is going to be critical. They're going to need to see that you're a viable, functional business. This is important. It's not just, hey, I'm a business, I started yesterday, I'd like some money. No, they need to see that you're a viable business that has justifiable financial needs. And then you're going to need to update your balance sheet so that you can show really what's going on in the business today and fill out the necessary paperwork. And as you mentioned, Eric, it took you a few hours to do this.
Yeah.
Now, describe it. You were talking about print this out, sign this, scan this.
Yeah, so it starts you just by the basic stuff, who you are, your name, address, all that stuff. But as the website builds, it gets slower and slower. So one first key point is there's a big save button at the top. Save often. I didn't and had to start over. It made me so angry. Like, there's nothing like going through and figuring all this out and then not pushing save, or the website decides
Crashes.
to time out.
Yep.
And so now I was back in there this morning and they had an alert across the top saying it may be slow, just like the healthcare website was when we all jumped on the healthcare website.
That's right.
But you need to have multiple years back tax returns. They're asking for those. There's a form that they have you fill out for them to request those from the IRS. And you actually, as you fill it out on the computer, it autofills it and then says, here, print this, but you need to sign it. And then you have to scan it back into your computer and upload it. So there's, if you need help with that, Google Drive is really easy to do that with your phone. You can scan. If you need help, then let us know. We can tell you how to do that. And then you just kind of go through, and then they give you at the end, when you submit, it just kind of brings you to the screen that says, congratulations, you're done, and it doesn't really tell you anything anymore. So one thing that I did find is as you log out and log back in, there's a messages at the top, and that will give you the status updates and stuff as it progresses. So
that's right. And one of the things you need to understand is, as Eric said at the very beginning, he was advised correctly by his bank, you need to start this sooner rather than later. The whole thing is a queue. This is going to be reviewed and processed. And one of the things you have to understand is, like all of our businesses, they are also limited staff. They're sent home. There's things going on that are impacting their ability to process these funds. And so what we need to do is recognize that you've got to get in the queue, and then it's a waiting game. And with that waiting game, I can definitely tell you, as desperately as you need the funds, the government's in a position where they desperately want to give you the funds. This is something that is going to happen quickly, or at least as quickly as possible. So if you need the money, let's say tomorrow, realize it might be 3-4 weeks before you get it. You might need it in a month. Well, it might be 3-4 months before you get it. So understand, as quickly as you need it, we're struggling in the essence of getting this stuff processed to get it to you. And I say we because obviously we the people, we're the government, right? Mm-hmm. So what we're trying to do here is just try to get this into context. Apply now, be ready for the application, have your things in order. For those businesses that have been somewhat lax in having your accounting information, this is really going to catch up to you, because before you can do this, you're going to have to go to an accounting and tax professional and get your tax returns filed. You're going to have to get your accounting in order to do this process. So hurry, hurry, hurry. Your accounting professional is in fact your first responder, your doctor, to help you through this process. The last thing I'd like to do just to wrap this up is we as an economy need to rebound, and we, the small businesses, are in fact the backbone of this economy. So if you're in a situation where you're teetering, do I want to do this? Can I do this? Please put forth the effort. We all need a concerted effort to make this possible. I challenge you, go through this process, get the funds that are available. Let's stay in business. We're entrepreneurs. We're very focused on what we do. We love what we do. We're passionate about what we do. Let's not let it die now. And so I implore you, go through the process, and like Eric has done, start the application. Eric, are there any final words you'd like to add?
No, like I say, if you have any questions or anything, not that I'm some crazy expert, but put them out there, and we'll be able to find those resources. As things change, as these things happen, we can try to update this thread in this video and do more of that.
Yeah, and for anyone that's an accounting professional, share this video with your business clients. Pass this along, because obviously they're going to come back to you with the needs that you're able to help with. So as accounting professionals, send this out. Help business owners understand what the loan actually looks like and what they're going to need in order to apply, and how it is you're going to be able to help them. And with that, just understand this: business success is universal. Apply these principles, get the money, let's stay in business, and more importantly, restart this whole economy. Take care.
Thanks, guys.